we were talking about bone density stuff the other day, and
Yes.
I remember back when we had this first conversation. It was years ago, and if I remember correctly, you told me that your bone density was enough of an issue that your doctors wanted you to put you on meds.
Yes.
So your response to them was, hold on, let's wait a little bit and see if I can do this without. And then sometime later, you were retested, your bone density went up, it improved. Instead of just, holding like they wanted, it got even better without the meds. And you feel like, of course, proper eating, your supplementation, and xgym were responsible for that. Is that accurate? Is that kind of a summary anyway?
That's a good summary. What I told my doctor was give me 2 years.
Aha.
Give me 2 years. And you were presenting at a BNI meeting. Soon after
Okay.
that, I met you for the first time. And
Ah,
when I saw your presentation, I said, this is it. I had actually gone to the Y and tried to get someone to teach me how to use the machines there. And I was afraid for my body not being able to do what the person was suggesting without better guidance. I really needed a PT type approach, somebody who could really direct me in my own body and all the problems that I had with it, with the back issues and so on. And
yeah.
you turned out to be the perfect solution. So
Wow.
I'm so grateful. It's been 10 years, PJ.
Wow. Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so fun that the xgym was part of that. And it gives people hope because a lot of people have bone density issues and osteopenia, osteoporosis, and
Yeah.
of course, doctors, if it's an allopathic doctor, 9 times out of 10, they're going to want to treat it with drugs. But that doesn't have to be the only solution. And osteoporosis doesn't happen because you're deficient in medications.
Exactly. It's one of the only body deficiencies that we have is calcium.
Yeah.
And it's because calcium is really hard to absorb.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So one of the things besides the xgym was dietary, getting off of gluten, not eating wheat, not eating so much dairy, not eating processed foods, getting off of all sodas, things that drain, and having a good source of flora in your body.
Yes.
That's really important because then it opens up all the receptors for calcium, and the homocysteine levels get which comes from tension, and so you need lots of good B complex, good vitamin Bs, so it's really important to absorb the calcium. And I learned, so besides doing the xgym, I was always studying how the body absorbs calcium, and it's been extremely helpful to do the various dietary things.
Right. So give me a typical plan for the day. I'm sure you have established some daily habits now for fighting osteoporosis. So what does that look like?
Well, I begin my day with a good protein, a plant-based protein, and supplements. That I think that's really important. And I also begin the day with a yoga prayer that includes push-ups and stretching.
Good.
And then I do Tai Chi, Qigong practice every day, which loosens up all the joints. Because, and then I walk a couple miles every day, and then with xgym. And then I hike every Wednesday, 6 to 7 miles, usually, and usually uphill. So, and then I get enough rest. That's a really important part, is to rest. And I meditate in order to keep my homocysteine, the tension, the stress levels down.
Good.
Because stress drains your body of nutrition terribly. Yeah. And then I take more supplements at night because all day long, my body is under stress. I mean, our life in the United States is stressful.
Yeah.
Even if you're home all the time. So I eat very, very healthy, lots of salads, and I try to keep an alkaline diet as much as possible.
Good. My argument is exercise is the number one thing. But if someone were to ask you the top three things that they could do today besides exercise, because that's just assumed, what would be those three things?
Eat a plant-based diet,
Mhm.
reduce your stress, get the first thing I would say is exercise.
Yeah, yeah,
But you already said that. And
yeah,
then I think get sufficient sleep,
yes,
because it's at night when we everything repairs at night.
yeah.
And then if you don't rest, if you don't get good rest,
Mm,
then all these things that you're doing are not going to give you the benefit that you're hoping for.
that's great. Favorite supplement?
What's my favorite supplement?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh my goodness, my favorite supplement. I take quite a few. I would say if somebody once asked Dr. Shackley, who was a chiropractor
Mm,
who started the Shackley Company in 1956, if you had only one, he would say alfalfa,
mm,
which is interesting because it's an ancient food and it's full of minerals and has some protein in it, and it sort of balances your whole system. Our multivitamin is fabulous. It has the right balance of B and the right balance of, and my bone density improved just with Vital E.
interesting.
And that's also, they've actually published a white paper proving that with double-blind study that just bone density improves just with our multivitamin by
Wow.
itself. By itself.
What's that vitamin?
It's called Vital E.
Vital E.
Vital E. It's a
Okay.
It's a Shackley supplement.
Yeah.
So that's sort of the base. And then there's three things. There's Vital E, and then there's soy protein extra. As we age, we need even more protein.
Yeah.
And I find most people, older people, they stop eating so much protein,
Yeah.
and it causes their muscles to go. I mean, I mean, you just have to build up your muscles by having strong muscles.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. A cultural anthropologist once wrote about the Egyptians, and they found that the elite Egyptians who were carried in chairs had osteoporosis in their teens.
Wow.
But the ones that were building the pyramid had the most solid bones that they'd ever seen in
Yeah.
skeletal remains.
Amazing.
Yeah. So the idea, my doctor said to me when I injured myself and went to my neurosurgeon, he said, "Your bones aren't any good. You need to be strong.
Mhm.
Get strong."
Yeah.
And the strength of the muscles will build your bones for
Yep.
you.
Right. That's good. And it's such a shame that, doctors will typically give a medication and then say, take calcium, but it's hard to absorb the calcium unless you're exercising.
Yes.
And and so
The
it doesn't
calcium,
taste
yeah,
good. You just,
I think the Shackley calcium is a really good one. It digests well. If you put it in water, it will melt. I mean, it does absorb pretty well.
what's it called?
It's called osteomatrix.
Okay.
Osteo being bone, and the matrix is the whole system that builds bone.
And I'm sure you're getting vitamin C.
Oh yes, I take that too. Yeah.
That's important for osteo. And then D and K.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. D, and the K is in the alfalfa,
Ah,
and
gotcha.
it's in the Vital E also.
I love it.
I mean, it's naturally occurring in vegetables.
Mhm,
So if you are using a naturally sourced supplement,
mhm.
you're getting vitamin K. Shackley makes a multivitamin without K, because some doctors absolutely insist that their patients who are on blood thinning medication not
Yeah.
have any K.
Yeah.
When my husband had blood thinning medication, I talked to his doctor and I said, we will be eating broccoli and spinach and kale,
Yeah.
and you need to get his medication stabilized to a very high green diet.
Love it.
And it worked, as long as we didn't travel to places where it was really hard to get green
Yeah.
vegetables.
Right. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Great story. Well, I know
Mhm.
you're busy, so I'm going to let you go, but thanks so much. Is there anything else you wanted to say in closing?
Just take care of yourselves.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we don't do it
Mhm.
because we're socialized to eat ice cream and cake and sodas, and we just need to be strong and not, not fierce, but just strong, and remember what you're doing for your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're a great testimonial for what you're saying.
I want you to know that I just finished a 3-day backpacking trip, 17 miles,
Oh, nice.
carrying 18 pounds.
Wow. That's
I
so
know.
great.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Yeah.
Yes, you
strong,
had?
strong bones.
Yeah. And how many
Thanks, PJ. Thanks for everything.
and how many birthdays have you had now?
I will soon be 86.
I love it. Keep it up. This is
Yeah,
great.
thank you. Thank you so much. You've really saved my life. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Okay, we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.